let's tell some truth. EB, you were high on the weapons. I think you've come around. The truth is their receivers aren't good enough.
I'm not willing to completely give up on them. I'm honestly not. I think that part of it was, I'll be defensive here until proven otherwise. I think part of it was a fairly conservative game plan by Cliff. But, yeah, I mean, they didn't stand out. Oz looked way better in the preseason. He did nothing. They basically didn't play Diami on offense. And, you know, we distinguished ourselves 0 in the passing game. Now, I'm not blaming Jaden. I think he's going to be a star. If you want to quibble with me, fine. I think he's going to be a star. So what do I think? To tell the truth, offense sucked overall. The defensive line had penetration but couldn't make a tackle. The corners are just dreadful.
Cakes,
that's all true.
Cakes, tell the truth.
Okay.
If you had to do it over again,
yes,
and go through the schedule, you would not have them at 10 wins.
Truth.
Probably 100% truth.
After seeing, I thought that there would be some defensive improvement. They've either stayed the same and or gotten worse through one game.
Yeah.
Against a pretty good offense. Now, they're not going to face Mike Evans and Chris Godwin every week, thankfully.
That might be one of the better teams, even though I disrespect the Bucs. They played great. They totally deserve the win.
They're the Bucs.
Yeah, of course. I will always say that. But they dominated us. Who cares?
They're pretty much
dominated
better
us.
at every position.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. They won the football game. But do I think we could never? I mean, maybe we could never beat them. But they dominated us. Fair. But I don't think every team is like that.
Could never beat them with
still like our schedule.
With the current iteration of the secondary. It's impossible. With St. Juice and Forbes.
But it's a combination of the secondary and lack of pass rush. Because if you have a good pass rush, that can mask a weak secondary.
Look, I'm not calling.
I thought we did.
The pass rush was okay. They just couldn't.
From the middle. You're looking for the pass rush from the
dropped
ends.
back 30 times, Cakes, and was hit twice.
They couldn't finish.
He was hit twice.
I don't know what you were looking at.
The pressure
was okay. They flushed him a bunch.
Couple times. Not a bunch. There was a lot of times he went back, planted his feet, nobody around him, and threw a downfield strike. Happened over and over again.
He also used.
But he was also flushed.
He also used Rashad White in the screen game and Bucky Irving too.
Really well.
Used them perfectly.
That caught Washington off guard.
They had 3 to 5 whiffs that could have been sacks.
I agree with
All right,
Cakes.
here's my truth.
You have to finish those plays.
Here's my truth. They have to beat the Giants.
Must win
because
game.
you're facing Daniel Jones.
Must win in week 2.
You're not facing a Mayfield, and Mayfield's no Hall of Famer, but he's better than Daniel Jones. And you're not facing 2 legit receivers on the outside.
You're
facing one.
Right.
But Daniel Jones was terrible yesterday. You got a home opener. They got to play better, not just offensively, but certainly defensively against the Giants.
So Daniel Jones threw the pick 6 to Van Ginkel. And that was kind of a fluky play because he's throwing a quick pass. But I don't think it's
still
fluky that he was hit 12 times.
Yeah.
He was sacked 5 times. Their offensive line stinks. Their quarterback's not good.
By the way, Joe Shane is in shambles. He's in the
trouble.
worst shambles ever.
He's in trouble.
Because Saquon dropped a nuke bomb on Green Bay and Brazil, and then the Giants looked terrible in week 1.
Yes.
He is the most down bad guy on the planet.
Yeah, and you go back to that scene from Hard Knocks where the owner came in there with his arms folded. He's like, I just hate to lose him to a division rival.
There are a billion memes of that on the internet right now, JP. There's a billion of them.
I know.
You know who needs to tell the truth is Adam Peters. Don't say recalibrate. This is a rebuild. The team's bad.
I think it's more Quinn saying to recalibrate.
Someone over there needs to just call it what it is. The team sucks. No talent.
Well, if I had my brothers that could go, look, if they lose to the Giants,
this is a complete.
If they lose to the Giants, the season's going to go.
If they lose to the Giants,
downhill,
they'll be in contention for the number 1 pick.
Hey Valdez, tell the truth.
Lose the Giants.
Because didn't you flip flop? Like you said that I put the screws to you, and then you picked a record for the Commanders, and then the next day you came back and said, "I've recalibrated."
I was sold snake oil.
Yeah,
you were.
Listen, I think everyone's overreacting a little bit. The game was brutal, no doubt. The bright spot was Jaden, in my opinion. But guys, they could still win 7 or 8 games. I don't see why we're going crazy here. We got smoked yesterday, but we've gotten smoked many times before and played well the next week. Marty Schottenheimer started out 0-5. Joe Gibbs started out 0-5. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win Super Bowls. Marty's team just went 8-8. But you can adjust, get better.
Of course.
Like, it's one game. We got smoked. Tip your cap. They're better. Beat us in all phases.
I agree with that.
But let's not get crazy. We still have bad corners. We still have mediocre receivers, but that's fine.
I'm getting crazy.
You're getting crazy after one game. You're getting crazy after one game.
I think it's warranted. I think it's warranted.
And I'm not going there yet.
I'm not getting crazy yet, but
I'm not going there yet.
If they lose to the Giants,
yes,
who are abysmal, then I'll be in that
Titanic week 2.
I can't do that yet, but I understand.
Not that I expect them to go to the playoffs. They're not going to the playoffs. This team's not going to the playoffs.
I'm not making grand proclamations yet.
Okay, I'll make it.
Eric,
but let me just tell you this. If they lose to the Giants, this season is going to tank.
All right, how about this? I'm not going to –
It's almost a must-win.
Not going to be results-oriented. What if the passing game looks amazing and offense looks great, and they just because our defense is so bad,
and they lose 31-30?
Yeah, then are you going to still bail on the team?
I would be surprised if the defense gave up that many points to this bad Giants.
Well, team. I think the defense is by far
think they'll
the
play
weak
better.
spot.
I think it is, but it'll play better.
Although Kingsbury did not distinguish himself. You're under my microscope, buddy.
Well, you know,
to Valdez's
you're giving up on him already.
To Valdez's point, they don't have enough talent. And I think if you look at the offseason moves, they're pretty telling that Dorrance Armstrong, Farrell, Fowler, all these guys, they got short-term deals. They were just Band-Aids. They gutted the roster, filled it up with guys that aren't going to be here long-term. It's a rebuild. Absolutely.
Yeah,
everybody knew that.
A lot of these guys are auditioning. They're looking at them thinking, will they be part of the future in 2 or 3 years when hopefully we've actually built something here?
None of those guys
are going to be. For the most part,
be.
no. They're not going to be here. A lot of these guys are placeholders.
Correct.
All right, let's bang out the calls. Let's go to, let me see here. Let's go to Dennis in Reston. Hey, Dennis, what's up, buddy? Tell the truth Monday here on the Junkies.
Good morning, guys. Misery Monday.
Yeah.
Let me think. Where do I want to start? I'll make it real quick because I know there's a lot of people on the line. The 2 things that stuck out to me the most, actually 3 things. 2 of them are names, and the third thing is just something that we kept doing. Our tackling is just awful. And at first I thought our defense was playing good, but I started watching more and more. Just nothing but arm tackling. Just guys missing tackles. That's right. 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles on 1 play missed. Okay, now I'm going to go on next. And I've said it. I don't even know how many times I've said this name to you guys. Emmanuel Forbes has to go. And along with that, St. Juice also. St. Juice, he's terrible. He gets burned all the time. And I'm not saying that. Listen, the guys.
I saw St. Juice afterwards.
Next week, Daniel Jones is going to come in here, and I know Daniel Jones didn't have a good game yesterday, but he'll come and he'll play better next week, and they're going to put their best receivers on Manuel Forbes and St. Juice, and they're going to beat us like a drum.
Well, not if Forbes is benched, doesn't play.
Thank you, Dennis.
Which is entirely possible.
You guys have a good day. Thanks.
I saw St. Juice.
Dennis was pissed.
A really long quote about what happened, and he was very defensive, saying that they were in good positions, but they just had some miscommunication. How many times have we heard about miscommunication problems in the secondary?
Well, there was a miscommunication
That's all we heard
on
last year.
McMillan's touchdown, too.
Yeah.
Something happened there. I don't know if that was...
Well, he couldn't have been more open.
I don't know if that was Quan Martin or... I can't remember.
He just got released into the end like
Quan Martin distinguished himself kind of cleaning up the mess.
Yeah.
But overall, the corners were dreadful. F- overall. True. That's, I think, true. Let's go to Matt. Matt, what's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. Great show as usual.
What's up?
Hey, QB will be fine if he stays healthy.
I agree.
Not big into doing the Dougie when you're getting pummeled in the end zone, but Dan Quinn, that's a problem. You guys are going to see, I mean, that's probably why the Cowboys weren't so, concerned about him leaving. No discipline.
Their defense looked pretty good yesterday without Dan Quinn.
West Coast defenses.
Zimmer's a good D
He's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch what Zimmer did with that defense. Same defense yesterday. They pummeled the Browns.
Pwned them real good in Cleveland.
Well, Deshaun Watson's awful. He's an awful quarterback.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst contracts you'll ever see.
Cakes had a great line.
I think it's the worst contract ever handed out in sports history.
No, say the line that you saw
his career.
online that somebody said.
I saw online somebody said Deshaun Watson, as we knew him, died on the massage table.
Yeah.
Because the guy you're seeing is not
His
the
career
Deshaun Watson.
died on the massage
Yeah,
table.
just like dead.
What was he out?
But
Like
he was
3
out 2
seasons? I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's over.
I thought 2, but maybe it was.
If you're
2.5.
Kevin Stefanski, you have to go in with your coaches and say, we really have to think about starting Jameis Winston going forward. And I know that's not the greatest option, but he's better right now.
You want your quarterback to throw 20
than
picks.
Deshaun Watson.
His QBR was a 9.4.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, there was bad quarterback play all across the league.
Daniel Jones was better, and he was
Barely.
terrible.
So
Daniel Jones had a 17 QB rate.
So my dog,
QBR.
we had guests in. We had an amazing weekend. Cornell went 2-1. We swept Navy.
Nice.
We swept Liberty. UC San Diego got the better of us. But so I didn't, and I barely got home in time for the game. I don't know exactly what Jones did that was so brutal. Give me
Pick six.
0
give me the
touchdowns,
update.
2 pickles.
I mean, I saw stats.
Did no
but
impact in the rushing game.
did he have catastrophic plays that are like laughable that are
I mean,
going to
the
be
pick
iconic?
6 is bad. It's kind of tough. Like, he basically dropped back and threw a quick, essentially wide receiver screen that the linebacker made a great play on.
Mm-hmm.
The second interception, I can't remember.
He was getting booed by the New York Mooks, leaving and getting into his car.
He completed
in the parking
50%
lot.
of his passes.
Right.
And he turned the ball over twice.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. He's not very good.
And they
Right.
scored 6 points.
All
They
right, let's
scored
go
6
to
points.
Steve in Alexandria. Steve, what's up, buddy? To tell the truth here. Misery Monday.
Truth is, boys, the roster's poo. Ron destroyed this team with his terrible drafting. Emmanuel Forbes got 2 penalties on 1 play. I don't even recall that ever happening.
I know that was so
I don't
brutal.
recall
Yes.
that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's unbelievable how Ron destroyed this team. And Quinn and Peters are left to pick up the pieces. I mean, what else were they going to do? I mean, we're like an expansion team
No,
right
it's
now.
a massive rebuild.
Okay,
That
fair
is
enough.
clear.
But where Quinn could have impacted the game, I guess he's listening to his analytics guy in the headset, but I thought there were just some shaky decisions.
I didn't.
get
It
it,
didn't
but
jump
I
out at
get
me.
it,
But
The worst
How about
decision
that
by far
hemorrhaging
was
the clock at the end of the first half?
that.
I mean,
Well-
come on, like how come Jonathan Allen couldn't finish? You know, the pressure they were getting on the quarterback.
They were getting
I mean,
pressure
they
from the
got like
interior, and
3
they didn't close the deal. JP doesn't like to admit it because he
100%.
wants it to all come from the
100%.
ends.
It was one of
no,
the
But
things
it was
that-
coming
I
from
just
the
don't think they got
interior.
much pressure at all.
JP,
More
then you-
often
then you
than
weren't
not, he
watching-
was not
Then
pressured.
you
Then you
weren't
weren't
watching the
watching.
game.
I was
Because
watching the entire game.
They pressured. Now I'm not going to say throughout, but they put enough pressure on Baker where they could have sacked him 3 or 4 times easily, maybe 5 times.
Absolutely.
They just
Yes,
couldn't finish
Baker-
plays throughout
Baker made
the
them
game.
look like fools. It's unbelievable. Baker's not really a mobile quarterback. Like, are you joking?
No, he's mobile.
every
He's
third
shifty.
down. Every third down, he was throwing the ball. Would get out of it. 3rd and long, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10. They would get the first down, so they would score touchdowns.
The Godwin pickup, weren't they like 3rd and
Thanks,
16
buddy.
or
Thanks,
3rd and
Steve.
17?
Yeah,
That
that was
was
huge.
just mind blowing. Where he just dumps it off, and then Godwin gets like 13 yards of yak, weaves his way through the defense and picks up a first down.
I mean, you could talk about pressure, but I'm watching Mike Evans touchdown. He drops back, 5-step drop, boop, touchdown.
Okay, we're not
Look at
saying
another
every
one.
play,
Well,
but we're saying those 4 or
The
5 we left
majority
out
of the
there.
plays, he was not pressured.
Okay, but if you make
He
those
was
4
hit.
or 5 tackles,
He was hit 2 times in
He won't
30
listen. He won't
dropbacks.
listen.
Listen,
won't
if
listen.
he
You
makes,
guys are blind.
No, we're not blind. You're blind. If they make
Not
those
at
4 or
all.
5 sacks, then they punt, and then
Yeah,
none of
they get
that
off the
stuff
field.
happens.
He couldn't have been more comfortable.
He was pressured. They couldn't close the deal.
Yeah.
He would be surrounded by 3 or 4 guys, and he squirts out and picks up the
By the way,
first down.
I'm not saying it's like lucky or anything. They sucked. They didn't close the deal. It's on us. Let's go to
You know who's flying under the radar? Joe Witt Jr.
not on my no. He's
Gave up almost 40.
mediocre.
You're in the crosshairs too.
Oh, big time.
Jason Bishop.
You guys are giving up
Jason
on the
Bishop,
coaching
what-
staff after one game.
Jason Bishop.
Kinda.
I'm not giving up.
But you're
They're under
alarmed.
the microscope.
Yeah.
You're alarmed.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
alarmed.
Yeah.
Jason Bishop. Just look at this play. Are you telling me Baker's pressured here? Look at
He
this.
just won't stop.
You don't listen.
Not
He
there.
just-
I
You
know
don't
there are a
listen.
couple of plays,
Not a
but the
couple.
vast
There's probably
majority he was
There
not
probably
pressured.
5 or
There's
6
probably a
where
half
he was
dozen
flushed and he made a play that he should have been sacked on.
Can somebody who knows how
I think
to
that
cut
was-
up video please send us a montage Of all the times that Baker
how would you grade
pressure,
this prolific pass rush?
I didn't say the pass rush is amazing. I've never been in that camp. I know it's mediocre, but when guys are getting there, when they're within a yard and a half, and they have their hands on Baker, you got to bring him down.
They had their hands on him twice.
They had their hands on him more than twice.
No.
They were within.
Dude, he was
grabbing
surrounded
distance.
by burgundy and gold or whatever the hell colors they were wearing, and he got through him. He was surrounded.
Well, give props
to agree here.
Give props to Mayfield.
I do.
Totally
He played
do.
out of his mind. He played great, and we
He
sucked.
never looked uncomfortable.
He played great, and we
A
sucked.
slightly above average quarterback had a great day against a bad defense, in my opinion.